Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Masterson, and I'm actually, for the first time, trying to make more explicit global citizenship education. So I really welcome the CAME standards into a module for PME Year 2 students on history, policy and contemporary issues. So this is something that's actually in a start phase, I think, an initial phase. So I'm hoping over the next couple of years to develop and embed an enhanced embedment of global citizenship education as we get more experience. So Deirdre, if you could just move on there, please. Yeah, next slide. So really looking at, thinking about, and I read the standards, and how we're going to understand. There's lots of different understandings of global citizenship education. It's a contested area. So I suppose to think about it in terms of something that is change, is open to change, is dynamic. So that is one thing I want to, I suppose, the students to get an appreciation of, that the world we're very interconnected, but it doesn't stay, I suppose, from the historical context, the lessons learned from the past were constantly evolving. So looking at, I suppose, at what we can do at a local and national, and how we're interconnected to the global. So creating that appreciation for that interconnectedness is something I think that's an appreciation that I'd like to develop, that value system and appreciation and understanding with the students. So we can move on to the next slide there. So as I said, the module, it's been run this semester now, and some values, I suppose, we look at, the students can choose to focus on a particular area that is relevant to their own subject. We have students on this module who come from all the different subject areas: science, technology, music, languages. We also students from LIT that link in from art, music. So it's a wider group. So we hope to encourage the students to self-select an area to focus on a little bit in more detail, and to do a policy interrogation. But looking from, as the title slide, I know that idea of the care for others would be important. So it's very much looking at developing values, a value system, a good way of interacting with others. So I suppose that is the value system, looking at students going out and engage, passing on their value system, building up a culture in schools and in their professional relationships with others. So we can move to the next slide. So the understanding, I suppose, it is a broad, I hope we're not attempting to do too much with an initial scoping exercise of how to integrate this very broad area. But I think you have to start somewhere. So it'll be an interesting, experiential experience to see how the students, how they respond to the content and the theory, and actually how they embed it in and reflect on it for their own subjects. So it's very much a student can choose the focus for themselves that has meaning for them, that's meaningful. So we can go to the next slide there. Oh, that's just, yeah. So I suppose I'll know more after we evaluate this project. It's about, I suppose, we have been looking at some of those areas already implicitly, but we're actually naming global citizenship education now, and we're giving it maybe a higher, maybe shining a light on it that previously was more implicit, below the radar. So this is going to be, I suppose, it's an interesting project to embark on in the world we live today. So I'm looking forward to reporting back maybe at the next meeting the experiences of undertaking this project with the PME students.